Welcome back. In this video, I will be taking you along with us as we are going to be planting our May garden. We will be picking up some plants from the garden center and plant tomatoes in our backyard in the greenhouse, some chili. Then in the front yard, we will also plant some cauliflowers.
This is fresher but late, they say, but good for sauce, good for eating.
Like 20%. Like this long one, which looks like a snake. I want the smaller one. Here are the different kinds of lettuce we planted, some from seed and some from saplings. We planted these broccolis about a couple of weeks back, and now you can see they've grown quite a bit in size and they look really healthy.
Some small from seeds, yeah.
This is the beetroots which we planted from the sapling, and then this one is the new beetroot. You can see they're all popping nicely. It's a little bit dry, right? We need to water them.
Very dry. After I want to water.
Here we put fresh compost, and now we are going to plant some cabbage and some cauliflower, 6 of each. Last year we had too many cauliflowers, so this year I think 6 is enough. Potatoes, we are covering up. We keep covering till they flower. There's some construction.
Theoretically, if you have enough compost, you can cover till here.
Yeah. So each time when they start to pop up, you cover until they flower. After that, we stop covering. That's how you do with the potatoes, and you do not plant the potatoes in the same place every year. I think we had just 1 year something from the strawberries flowering a lot. Here I see a strawberry. We are removing the leeks because they are not really tasty or anything as such. It's just leaf and there's no stem. We can plant here the cauliflower maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So this was anyway to be taken out. I've harvested enough times.
4 or 5 times definitely.
Yeah, we have really maxed it out. Should we put some compost in it?
Yes.
Okay. And the chives are also not very healthy. You can take it off. Before we plant the remaining cauliflowers, we are going to cover it up fully with some compost. And over there is the Swiss chard. Celery maybe, but not now. In the summer we could plant some celery. I think cutting those dead rose bushes has paid off. You can see there's some new buds coming up. Actually quite a few. This was somehow neglected. It's quite a bit in a slope, so it's difficult to get through. And you can see there are more bulbs. There's some construction going on, so it's pretty loud. Then you have the street noise. We are in the front yard. moving on to the backyard is where we are going to be planting the tomatoes which we picked up from the garden center. We are going to plant a few varieties and I will be showing you what exactly we are planting and a small little tour of the backyard. This one is the rhubarb which we planted almost 8 years back, and it seems they have kind of picked up from where they left off after a couple of years. They look healthy and vibrant, and hopefully we can harvest a few of these stalks in a few weeks. Oh wow, this is from how many years? 8 years.
Yeah.
It's coming every year. This is a yeah, but look how fertile this place is with the water and the creek. So this rhubarb. It didn't do well 2 years, right? Yeah. So now it's again coming up, and a lot of mint. I smell the mint far and wide. This was inside the house, and then now we have it outside. This one is our curry leaf plant, and these are all from the seeds, and we took it out. We were taking in and out for at least 4 weeks from April, and you can see all the leaves were shed and now the new ones are popping up. It fruits in January. Yeah, the lemon tree is coming.
So it just needs more water. We didn't give enough water.
When we give enough water, even the fruits will be very juicy. It was very
If it
dry.
comes a little bigger, I will cut it up here.
Remember in the last video I was talking about the Sharon fruit, and now you really see the leaves. Here. Look here, buds here, yeah, I see it.
So then the strongest one we leave and the weak one we'll cut
let's
later.
see how it works out. Let's see, maybe in a couple of years we get some fruits. Now you see some of the first cherries. This one is red currants. We will get something this year. You can see all these onions. You can also see peas. This one is the spinach. Then we also have this red variety of spinach which is all over. That is from a previous year's planting, and they have flowered and they're spread all over the garden. I guess this year we will take them quickly and harvest them to avoid an invasion of this kind of spinach. Our plan is to plant these tomatoes in the greenhouse. Then they are in the optimal condition and they can really give a good yield. So we are preparing the soil now and then we start planting. Is it from the...
Okay, that's soil and stuff. So I guess I just make a hole, put some compost and put tomatoes in it. And then it needs water because it's dry and painful. Okay.
What about using those pots you had for passive watering? Is it still there?
They're gone.
What happened to them? Yeah, but now we let it grow wild. That's why it comes every year. We didn't harvest. This one is a salad tomato, and it is kind of quite hardy, right, to be outside in case the temperature drops. What variety are these?
These are more also half cherry size, smaller ones.
Okay. This is also a rare species.
You tell that there is a special entry.
These varieties of tomatoes are special to Switzerland. They're very rare. And it's not...
a special association who cares about these rare varieties. And together with Coop, a big Swiss retail brand, they have a big outlet for it, so they have that rare species, old varieties and all kind of nice ones.
The hobby gardeners like it. That's what he's saying. Many people don't like it. I personally like the taste.
You know what I mean, conspiracy. Certain big companies don't like it.
They're also a little bit expensive when you buy it in the shop. You see, the normal variety of the tomato plant is like half the price almost, and this is like 4 franc 50 for one plant. You can see the price. The other one is like 2 franc 95. I'll show you.
For hobby gardener, it's not a problem, but professional, if you want to do it in big quantity, of course.
Yeah. So like it's
everything.
Even when you buy the vegetables from Co-op, which are pro species or the rare species, they're usually much more like doubly priced.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it's tasty. Like you get varieties of different tomatoes and carrots and other things. You get purple tomatoes,
black,
blue, and varieties. But mostly I felt
yellow, everything. I've never seen before.
We used to plant yellow ones before. Remember?
Yeah.
But
ones, I remember the yellow ones, they were so nice.
Yeah, the black ones were really tasty. This is the last variety we are planting. It's called Lycopersicon Ochsenherz in German, which means bull's heart. Ox heart. And each fruit can grow up to 500 grams. So let's see. And this is again a rare species. So it's a really fleshy one according to this, and it needs sun. Very, very fleshy this is. Let's see. I think I've planted this before. Yeah, and yeah. The one is Lycopersicon petrus, and this is also a special salad. It's a salad kind of variety, and it is like a middle-sized fruit with a lot of aroma, and it was also early fruiting and ripening, so it's pretty good in that sense. Harvest time is between July to October, and it needs a lot of sun, so we plant it here in the most sunny place, or at least we hope it is the most sunny place here. We have a new elder flower bush, and you can see they just grow so wild. Since I'm unable to process them, all the seeds just sprout new ones.
Last year they don't survive the winter. Even in the greenhouse it's too cold. So only the one outside, which we took inside the house in a pot, that survived. Because chili plants, they can use them for 2-3 years, I think.
Yeah, but we are planting every year here, and this is some wild kraut.
So I'll keep this away. Look.
We need to temporarily remove the snip and drip irrigation to plant, and then we'll put them back.
Just loosen up everything.
Which variety is this one?
This is more the melanzane type, but it's a little different.
San Marzano, yeah, this is a really good one for sauce.
Sauce a little bit longer.
Yeah, long time to ripen, but you can keep them really stored very long in the kitchen without any refrigeration. You know, you should not refrigerate tomatoes. They are nightshade vegetables. They ripen by themselves. You can cover them in some newspapers or something to ripen a little faster, especially in autumn when they don't naturally ripen in the sun. It's the same one, right?
Yeah. Almost perfect.
Yeah.
This is a little bit narrow, but I have to rearrange here.
We have a few wasp nests in this greenhouse.
Yeah, and your
My
husband says these are the nice ones. They are
not aggressive.
They're not aggressive.
So he lets them be in peace. We have a few also in the garden shed, but there I think they're done. They don't come back again. There's so many species, you know. That's a different species. And we have one also on the roof, but for some reason I can't film them. Look, you can see them making the nest. Oh! Come on. This is San Marzano. No, Amish pasta. Lycopersicon Amish pasta it's called. And it's the same harvest time, July to October. They need sun, and then they grow up to 2.5 meters in height. Yeah.
It's a little bigger.
Yeah, and you can fertilize them twice a month, it says that. And do they really need so little water?
Tomatoes love water on the legs, on the roots, but not on the leaves.
Okay. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that we had Swiss chard, but it's again back. So I have to be careful not to step over it. Thank you for joining us, and see you in my next video.